is entering the numbers. Now we need something here, which is the clear button, and it's easy to add. Okay, we'll go to the design. As we did before, we will press Ctrl button and drag this control and drop it here. Now we will rename it into BC, stands for button clear. You can name it whatever you like, and we will search for the text property, and this one will be a C capital for clear. We come back to this one. This is important since we copied button 0 and button 0 has a handler. The new button also has the same handler. You can see that it's using the same and 0 click, and if we move here, you'll find that this procedure handles and 0 click and button clear click, and this will cause us a problem because we want to write a different handler for BC. And to solve the problem, you just have to remove this one from here, and the simplest way is to go back to the designer and double click C again. Now if you check it out, you can see a new handler has been created for your button. So what does the C do? It just cleared the number, so it means it erases what's on the display. Our display is LCD, and we will change its text property and make it 0. Run the program again to see how it works, and 3, 2, 1, 6. As you can see these, we will press the C button and everything's gone. So it's working fine. Now let's come to the next part. Next part is to add the operation, the plus, minus, division, and multiplication, and these are very easy to do. We will copy this button. This one will be for addition, next one will be for subtraction, multiplication, and division. We will change the properties for each of these. The name property was the first one. We will change it into BAdd, standing for button add, and the text property is the plus sign. Next one will be B sub, and the property will be the minus sign. Next one will be B mult for multiplication, and this one will be the star symbol. Last one will be bdiv, and this is the division symbol. Okay, also we will create an equal button. We forget about that to get our result. So this one will be B equal, and its symbol should be like this, the equal button. So right now this is how our calculator is looking like, but it does enter numbers, but those commands we didn't write the handler for them. So double click. Now it's important also to note that since we copied the last command button and that one has a handler, all those buttons have the same handlers, as you can see here. So we will remove these to get rid of any problem that we might get into. Sorry about this error. Okay, and sometimes keyboard is better than the mouse in selection, and we remove these. So now we'll go back to the designer. So let's again discuss what's happening in the calculator. When you press any of these buttons, the number displayed on the calculator usually goes away and you enter a new number. When it goes away, it's not forgotten. The calculator keeps a record of it, because later on when you press the equal button, the operation should be executed on that number. So what are we gonna do when we press plus, minus, multiplication, and division is to store this number and the corresponding operation into some kind of memory, or into a variable, let's say. Okay, so we will double click the plus sign. Here we get into the button. So we will have to define a variable so that remembers what is in the text box, or what the number we have just entered. So to define a variable that can remember what you are working on, you write this command dimension, then you enter the name for the variable. We will call it first number as the as keyword, and then you specify the type of this variable, and here we will use the long. Some might say, why don't you use double? This one also only stores integers. Well, this is just a tutorial. We are not making a professional application right here. We are just trying to make things easy. So what are we gonna do is to first number equal, we want to get the number from display and store it here, lcd.text. So use the text property to put the number into our variable right here, and then first number equal, the display should be cleared, equals 0. Okay, next, this one I forget to add, we should store the operation itself. So we'll define another variable, let's say operation as, we will make it a string. Okay, by the way, those names also are optional. You can specify whatever you like, but I like long names that describe everything about the variable, and this helps me remember things and not having to go back and forth the code when there are too many things to follow. And so after we get the value of the number, we will start the operation. So operation equal plus. Now we will write similar code for the subtraction, multiplication, and division. So double click on the subtraction. We will copy this code from here, paste it here. This one will be minus. Again, double click on the multiplication, paste this code, and this is the multiplication, and division, this is the division part. Okay, so we have just created the code that copies what's on the display into internal memory and also stores the operation. We have one last thing to do, is to perform the calculation when we press the equal sign. So double click the equal sign so that we can write the handler for that, and it's very easy actually. We will write it like this. Now first we'll get the number from display. We can use the number right away, but